Hi, all of you. So, in our last class, we discussed selection statement, and in that selection statements, if statement already we discussed, and other than if statement, we are having one more that is called switch. Before moving to that, so I want to check if anything I missed. We'll check that. Okay. Now, what is the switch statement? What are the use of switch statement? Let's see. So, I'm creating one more. Right click, add one more class. This is another selection statement. Static void main. And I'm going to make this as an entry point. Now, suppose they had given one scenario, read okay, read color code and print color name. I want to read the color code and I want to print the color name. So this is very very basic level code. Color code should be RGB. RGB. The color code should be RGB. In that, whatever color I selected, that color name I want to display. This I want to write it in if statement first. So console.writeLine, select any color code in RGB. Then it's a character, right? Char ch equal to convert dot to char of console dot read line. Now, if ch is equivalent to r or ch is equivalent to capital R. In both cases, I want to print console.writeLine you are selected red. In the same way, I am going to write another one. Else, this is multiple if, right? Else, red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. If it is blue. If it is green. So red, green, blue, all these things I had given. So other than these three, if any other color you are selecting, else console.writeLine, I want to print a message invalid color code. I want to show a message called invalid color code. Yes, almost all these things are done. Now, whatever you are selecting based on according to that, it is showing the color. Whether you are selected red, green, blue, or what, it is showing. Now, let me run this program first. You are selecting B, it is showing you are selected blue. Now I want to put some breakpoint here. When you put some breakpoint, then how you have to execute? Start button or F5. Control F5 means breakpoints won't execute, right? So I pressed F5 or start button. Then it started. Select any color code. Again I'm giving B only. It's coming back to my program. Yes. Now it's one by one, step by step process means F10. Whether my color code is R, no. My color code is G, no. My color code is B, yes. So inside this, the statement is executed. That particular statement is executed. That means if you observe how many ifs it's checking, total 3 ifs it's checking. First 2 ifs the condition is false. In the third if the condition is satisfied. In the third if that condition is satisfied. So that third if related statements it's executed. That third if related statements is executed. Right? Now what I want to do means I don't want that R, G, B or anything. Instead of that, I want to directly go to that condition. Suppose here imagine 3 conditions are there, but imagine if you are having 30 conditions and if your satisfied condition is at 30th place, how many times it's going to execute? 29, that total 30 times it will execute if statement, 29 times it will fail, and 30th time it is going to pass. Right? This is not at all good. This is not at all good. Then what is the alternative approach for this? The best alternative approach for this is switch statement. Let's see how to write this work. Same thing in switch. Switch, that ch I'm giving in this. In case if you are giving small r, or in case if you are giving capital R, in case if you are giving small g, capital G, in case if you are giving capital R, small r, capital G, small g, in case if you are giving B, in case if you are giving capital B or default. If all are fail, then if all are fail, then I want to display invalid color code. And I don't want to continue, so break. And if I'm giving B, then I want to show this message. You are selected blue. And I don't want to continue, so break. If you are selected green, then I want to show this message. I want to show this message, break. If you are selected red, then I want to show this message, break. That's it. All are done. Then stop this. Again continue. Breakpoints are there. We have to press Control F5. We have to press F5. Now, this time also I gave the last option, B. Multiple if is going to check all the conditions. Whatever satisfied condition is there, it goes inside and it prints that message. Whereas switch directly, observe carefully, it directly jumps to that satisfied condition. It's not going to check whether the case is R or whether the case is G. It's not checking all the cases. Directly it will, from that switch line, it will jumps to that case B and it will execute the statement. So compared to multiple if and switch, switch will improve the performance. Then ma'am, why multiple if? Because switch is doing all the work, then what is the use of multiple if? Because multiple if, whatever conditions you are giving in multiple if, that you can't give it in switch. Again I'm saying, whatever conditions you are giving in multiple if, those type of conditions you can't give it in switch. Because of that reason, still we are using multiple if. But there is some alternatives for this, like some design patterns are there. Using that we can avoid multiple if also. That is another topic. But keep remember, difference between switch means when you are checking some choices, that means like this value is equivalent to this, or this value equal to this type of scenarios, instead of multiple if you wrote the same program in switch, performance will be improved. Okay, any questions or is it clear?
Clear, ma'am.
So total, how many types of selection statements are there? If statement, switch statement, and ternary also comes under selection only, but those are comes under operators. Before operators, we discussed ternary also. In the same way, we are having loops. What are the use of loops? Loops are also used to execute set of statements, or loops are also used to execute block of statements repeatedly. So suppose if you take this multiply for switch, whether you are giving B, or whether you are giving R, or whether you are giving G, whatever you are giving, based on that, the corresponding message it's going to display only once. The corresponding message it's going to display only once, right? But whereas if you take switch statement, it's not like that. They are going to execute those statements. They are going to execute those statements repeatedly. Loops means loops are used to execute the set of statements repeatedly until the condition is false. But switch, it's not like that. They are going to check the condition. If the condition is true, the corresponding statements it will execute only once. Okay, let's see how to do this. Go to loops demo. Here, very basic syntax. Static void means I want to print my name 5 times. Very basic question. Print my name 5 times. So till now, whatever topics we know, using that, if I want to do this work, console.writeLine. One way is, so I can give like this. There is no other way. Means other way means you, till now whatever we discussed in that, there is no other way to do this work repeatedly. Only one way is that console.writeLine 5 times you have to do, you have to write. But imagine 5 times means you will do like this. If it is 10 times, you can't give console.writeLine 10 times, right? Or if it is 100 times, you can't give 100 lines, right? Otherwise, one more query is there. Print 1 to 10 numbers. Very basic thing. Print 1 to 10 numbers. What is an alternative way? You can't do any other option. Simple until and until. Before loops, without using loops means you can do only this. Let's take this 5 numbers. 2, 3, 4. There is no other way. You have to do like this only. But I don't want like this. See, some work, if you observe either before one or this one, some work is there. That work repeatedly it's doing. Some work is there. That work repeatedly it's doing. So, if I want to do that work, then I have to use loops. How many types of loops are there? Total 3 loops. Total 4 loops. While, do while, for, and for each. While, do while, for each. Total 4 loops are there. Actually, while, do while, for these three, either you can use it for value type or reference type. And for each, we will use for reference type of data. Okay, so this I will discuss later with some other topic. Reference type of data I will discuss. Now, first take while loop. Same task I will give. Print my name 5 times. So, any loop if you take, first initialization will come. So, int count equal to 0. Initialization will come, or int count. I declare one variable. Initialization means Suppose if I ask a small child or small kid do this work 5 times, then how that small kid will do? He will whatever work I had given, that work he will do one time, and using fingers he will count whether that is reaches to 5 or not. How that small kid is counting that, whether he finished that or not, by counting that fingering, increasing that fingering count or decreasing. Same way here also, I said this work should done 5 times, so initially count equal to 1 I'm giving, and how many times I'm saying, that condition I have to give here. Count is less than or equivalent to 5. So see, if I ask a small kid to do that work 5 times, the person can do in two ways. First, he will close all the fingers, and after doing one time, he will open one finger. After that, another. Like that, he will do. Another thing, he will open all the fingers, and each and every time the work is done, he will close that finger one by one. So both are correct, right? So 1 to 5 or 5 to 1, both are same, greater than or equal to 1. Both are same. Anything is okay. You can count the numbers from 1 to 5 or 5 to 1. Both are 5 times only it's going to do that work. Anything is your wish. So if I gave 5 to 1, then what work I have to do? That set of statements you give. Here, just printing a name, but every time not printing a name. You have to execute set of statements number of times. In that case, all that set of statements you have to write here. So, Vamsi, I'm giving here. And I equal to 5 and 5 greater than or equal to 1 condition true, 5 will be printed. Sorry, Vamsi will be printed. I'm giving that I value also. Just leave it. 5 Vamsi is printed. Now, one time my work is over, then I have to close that finger. That means one value I have to subtract. Then only count value will decrease. How to subtract? Count minus minus. That means here count value will become 4. Again, after doing this, it will goes here and it will checks 4 is greater than or equal to 1. Condition true. Second time Vamsi is printed. Again, count minus minus, count value will become 3. Again, it will goes here. 3 is greater than or equal to 1. Condition true. Third time Vamsi will be printed. Count minus minus will become 2. Again, 2 is greater than or equal to 1. Condition true. Vamsi will be printed. Fourth time. Again, count minus minus 1. Again, it will goes to here. 1 is greater than or equal to 1. Yes, condition true. Again, fifth time Vamsi will be printed. Count will be 0. Again, it will goes to here. 0 is greater than or equal to 1. Condition false, right? When the condition is false, from here onwards, immediately it will jump the cursor after this while loop, not the end of the program. So here console.writeLine, I'm giving a message or I'm giving some line. So these lines are going to print. Now, if I run this program, console demos, loops demo, run. See, leave these two things, but here Vamsi is printed 5 times. Same thing, if I want to do using do while loop, same thing you will get, but only one thing, either count equal to 5 to 1 or 1 to 5, your wish. Count equal to 1, do loop, and console.writeLine, psi, and I plus plus, because here you count plus plus. Here you are counting from 1, right? Condition you have to check at last. Count is less than or equal to 5. That is the main difference. In while loop, first it is checking the condition, then it will comes inside. Whereas do while loop, First it execute the statement once, after that it will check the condition. That is the main difference between while loop and do while loop. And the third one, for loop, this is very easy and straightforward. Count equal to 1, count is less than or equal to 5, count plus plus, and console dot write line text. Something I did. This is end of do while loop. This is end of for loop. That's it. Now if I run this, see, all are printing 5 by 10. Once go through with this code. If any questions, please ask. Okay. Let's move to our content ones, because all these things I covered or not, I can't remember. If anything I'm not covered, please let me know. And all the write line, read line, all these things we discussed. Escape sequences also we discussed. Anyone is not clear, please ask. And the versions, I will discuss this later, because so many other versions, each version features and all we will discuss later. And operators, yes, we discussed. Data types, yes, we discussed. And categories also we discussed all these. Nullable types also we discussed. What is nullable type, and null collision operator also we discussed. And size of, because all these small are important. Static coordinate. Int a equal to 100. Now console dot write line a dot get type. What is the type of this? The type is going to be int32. That type it's going to return. Now anyone tell me how this get type is coming? When I type a dot, then I'm getting get type compare to equals, all are coming. From where all these things are coming?
Library.
Library only, but see, that is a is a value type of data, right? So okay, let me right click on this, go to definition. Here some are there, but if you observe, get type, here get type code is there, but get type is not there. If you observe, get type is not there, but we are getting get type, right? From where it is getting get type? Because that variable is defined as int32 type. So it should be that this method should be under that structure. It's not there, but from where you are getting this get type? Okay, I will show this diagram. From where that get type is coming? Where it's here. No, it's not there in this. Last time I discussed when I'm starting the data types, at the time I told all the data types base is who? all the data types, base is who? What is the base type for all the data types? Keep remember, object is the base type for all the other data types. That means whether you are declaring your variable as an integer, float, char, or whatever you declared, for all these types in this diagram, whatever you had seen, in this diagram, value type, reference type, all these types are coming, right? For all these types, the base type is an object. The base type is an object. So, ma'am, can you show me means, see, object, go to this root. In this object, this get type is there. See, in this object, this get type is there. So keep remember, when you are giving this a dot, not only this, anything dot you are giving, here what and all methods, properties, etc., you are getting, all these things you will get either from that class or that type or its parent type. That means your father is having one individual house and you earned one flat, means you purchased one flat. Now if you want to say any of your friend, what and all properties you contain, means you are the only son for your father or you are the only daughter for your father, you will say this is my flat and one more individual house. That means you will tell your parent property also, because that is belongs to you only, right? Same thing here. When you are declaring some variable, that variable name dot you are giving, then that particular variable, inside whatever members are there, all those things you will get here, as well as this int parent is who object, that parent properties also it will shows here. Keep remember. Now what is the type it will shows? The type it will shows it as int 32. Okay, in the same way, console dot write line size of size of int 32, then it will return 4. Let me run this demo 5, make this as an entry point. See, first one is system.int32. Second one, what is the size? 4. Yes, already we discussed that. And console.writeLine int.minimum value plus int.maximum value. If I gave this, what is the integer minimum value and what is the integer maximum? Hyphen means both will be like subtracted. 2. This will be, see, minus this value to plus this value. You will get the minimum and maximum value, how much the integer can hold. That number it is going to show it here. Very important, because every time you can't go to notes and you can refer, right? So because of that, this will be one important feature where you can find it out, each minimum and maximum value. Okay, next, size of means it's going to return the size of that particular type, and the get type is going to return the type of that particular variable, and direct data type dot minimum and maximum, which is going to return the minimum and maximum value. Minimum and maximum value. Okay, next. And anyone is not clear, please ask. Next, size of variable declaration already we discussed. Typecasting also I covered, right? When I'm doing selection statements, typecast I did this one. Any questions from anyone? Okay. Then in this, actually two typecastings are there, implicit typecasting and explicit typecasting. What are the difference between implicit and explicit typecasting means? Suppose if I'm declaring a variable int a equal to 100, and if I give long b is equal to a, this is called as implicit typecasting. That means if I'm giving, okay, otherwise at top a variable is there. If I give like this is called implicit typecasting. What you are doing, you are trying to store 8 bytes of variable equal to 4 bytes of variable value. This is valid one. And your compiler is going to do this implicit typecasting. Your compiler is going to do this implicit typecasting. And second one is what? Explicit typecasting. That means float float f is equal to a. Then it won't do that automatically. It will do, but it won't make this as a float. Otherwise, instead of this, another example, short c equal to a. It won't do automatically. This is called as explicit typecasting. Means implicit typecasting means your compiler will do it automatically. When you are trying to store a lower value into a higher variable, then your compiler will do that activity automatically. Whereas explicit typecasting means here 2 bytes of variable equal to 4 bytes of variable value. So this won't do automatically. This won't do automatically. So you have to explicitly specify that. So how to specify that? Here, the left hand side, whatever data type, with that data type you have to specify. That means I'm converting my A variable as a short type and I'm storing in that C. So why it is not allowing to store that much of value? Why it is throwing for explicit typecasting error? Because see, when you are trying to store 4 bytes of variable into 2 bytes, no, it's not possible. For 100 and 200, it's okay. Just before you had seen the maximum value of integer, right? That much of variable you can't store it in C. That's why your compiler is throwing error. Then, ma'am, what is the use of explicit typecasting? Generally, explicit typecasting will be used in these type of scenarios. When I'm doing total by 5, two integers division, definitely you will get the result as an integer value. If you want to make them as a decimal value, then this explicit typecasting will be useful. Generally, explicit typecasting we will use in these type of scenarios. Okay, I'm moving to next. Then, did I cover boxing and unboxing? I can't remember exactly.
No, ma'am.
So, again, boxing and unboxing. Now, just before I told, what is the base type for all the data types? What is the base type for all the data types? Just before only I explained.
Object.
Object. Object is the base type for all the other data types. So if I declare my variable as an object, or leave about that, I declared a variable int AA equal to 100. I declared an integer variable. In that I stored 100 value. Now I want to store whatever object value, whatever AA is there, that AA value I want to store it in object type of data. See, because object is the base type for all the other data types, it can hold any type of data. It can store any, not only integer, even if your variable is float, char, string, whatever type of data it is, object can hold all type of data. Because of that reason, now if you observe in this object variable, I'm able to store an integer value and it is not throwing any error also. So this is called as boxing. This is called as boxing. Boxing means what? If you want to convert any type to object type is called as boxing. If you want to convert any type to object type is called as boxing. Any type, string, float, char, any type to object type, this is called as boxing. Now I'm taking another integer variable. In this variable, can I store AA? Obviously, you can store. In this variable, can I store OBJ? No, you can't. But in that OBJ, I stored an integer only. But why I'm not able to return it back? Because object is a different type. Any data if you stored in that object, if you want to convert that into value type again, or if you want to convert that object type to any other type, this is called as unboxing. For unboxing, explicit typecasting is required. Left hand side, whatever variable it is, you have to give that. So boxing means converting any type to object type. Whereas unboxing means converting object type to any type is called as unboxing. Maybe this is not the perfect example for boxing and unboxing, but going forward I'm going to explain or I'm going to use this unboxing in many other areas. But not now, but later we are going to use this boxing and unboxing. But keep remember, I will ask all these questions in later topics. Okay, next. Here, what is the type you have to give means equal to this side, whatever this variable type is there, that variable type you have to give it here. Okay, next. And var and dynamic already I covered, right? Var and dynamic. Var and dynamic, yes. See? And string interpolation also I covered, how to use dollar symbol. Next. What is the difference between string and string builder also I explained. Any questions? Constants also I covered. And enums also we covered, right? Anyone, if anyone is not clear, please ask. Then selection statements, if statement, yes, multiple if, yes, all these things we covered. And some programs also, switch statement and what is the difference also we discussed. Also in today's class we discussed loops also, how many loops are available. For each is also there, but for each I'm not explain. I will explain that for each topic with separate concept. Okay. So almost all basics are covered and small jumping statements are there that I will discuss in tomorrow's, and I will move to arrays concept tomorrow. So by tomorrow end of the session, we are going to cover all basic part. Then from day after tomorrow's class onwards, whatever I'm going to start methods, that is very, very important concept. That is the foundation for object oriented programming. Till now, whatever we discussed, all are C sharp language. When you are learning any new language, how alphabets you have to learn. That alphabets only you learned. From day after tomorrow onwards, whatever methods concept is there, that methods concept I'm going to start. Now, I will give one assignment. Whoever wants to try this assignment, try it. It's very important and it's very useful, commonly used thing. Now, first my input should be enter amount. So I'm giving some amount 7,300. Now, in my ATM machine, I am having 1000 notes, 500 notes, and 100 notes. Only these notes are there. I'm having 1000 notes, 500 notes, and 100 notes. Only these notes are there. Now, my output should be, I don't want any thing, 7,000 notes plus 1 500 note, comma, how many? 300 notes. I want this output. Obviously, in ATM, you will get like this only. 7,000 notes you will get, and 1 500 note you will get, and 300 notes you will get. I want this output when I gave this value. Clear, or anyone is having any question? Okay. All of you know my email ID, right? I send notes to that email ID. Return back this program.
Ma'am, I did not receive the notes from you. I'm
Ma'am,
Padmaja.
I'm Chandrasekhar. Ma'am also didn't receive any notes.
Just a minute.